Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Get Organized Challenge number 6. I am not Tiffany. If you just joined us, I'm not normally the teacher. Tiffany Spalding is normally sitting right here giving you all of her expertise, but she is out of the country right now, and so I am sitting in. And so let's go over the original, gotta think about this. Kind of how this all works. So if you're watching us on live stream, there's a chat box on the right hand side. Also, the handout, when we sent out the reminder email, the handout, I didn't know where that was, so I couldn't include that in the email. But we posted it on the Facebook, the Get Organized Challenge group on our website and on that page. And it's also in the posts on live stream. There's chat and there's posts, and on the post we posted a link to the handout. So if you haven't already downloaded that, grab that now. It's actually super helpful and it goes step by step. It's just a couple of pages worth because it's a lot of work, but it's fairly simple steps. But make sure you get that because it really is step by step. We're going to go over those things today, but it's good to have that handout. Plus there's links in there for anything that gets mentioned that there's a link to. Normally, when Tiffany's doing this, I'm sitting downstairs and I'm also chatting on live stream and on Facebook Live, but because I'm here and we don't have an extra person down there, there's not going to be anybody from here answering any questions. There's tons of people on that are really awesome at answering all the questions. So do that, but later we will go through and see if any question didn't get answered, and we'll answer it in the follow-up email. Another thing, if you, at this point in time, you think you've signed up for stuff and you've never gotten a reminder from us prior to class or the follow-up after class, you might just be following Tiffany on live stream and just getting those reminders. So if you're not getting our actual emails, please go on to the Get Organized Challenge page on our website. We can't say that. And sign up for the challenge, and that puts you into the mailing list to get the actual reminder emails, follow-up emails, the ones that have the coupon codes in it and everything else, because you're the only group that gets it. You have to be signed up for it. So I think that's everything. So like I said, if you have a question, start it off with question in your chat, and people there will help you answer, or we'll answer it afterwards. So we'll just get started. Is everybody excited about doing photos? Yeah, I'm really excited. Some people are really on top of their photos, I'm sure. I'm not, never have been, and so this is like this thing that I've avoided forever. So I've also told Tiffany, I don't want to teach this. I haven't done this. I feel really awkward just saying, okay, Tiffany says, but that's kind of what this is going to be. I'm not speaking so much from experience on this one like I can with like all the other challenges I could, but this one, we're just going to power through this one together. Okay, so let's start off with this week's winners. We picked some winners from the progress posts. Once again, if this is your first chapter that you've joined us in, every week there's homework, and when you've done some amount of that or none of it, whatever, you can post your progress for the week. You do that on the Get Organized Challenge Facebook page, or you can email us. And then prior to class, we go through and we just randomly sort them and grab a couple of winners. And those people get a $25 gift certificate for shopping on Totally-Tiffany.com, which is cool. So the first winner today is Jennifer McWink. That is a really fun name, McWink. She's saying, I am so pumped. Paper is done. She's got labels printed. Embellishments are organized and labeled. Purging continues. I'm just kind of skipping through because there's a lot of stuff here. She did mention that she donated close to 50 pounds of craft yarn. And I'm trying to imagine, as light as yarn is, how much 50 pounds of craft yarn would be. She still has about 40 pounds to get rid of, but it did open up a storage closet, so that kind of tells me how much yarn that would be. But she's got her punches, her dies, everything categorized. Stamps are cataloged with photos. Huge, awesome. Markers, inks, chalks, cataloged. She's saying she shocked herself when she could see 3/4 of the bed in the craft room, which is awesome. She's got a big purge pile. She said, I'm so excited to have all this done. I feel like I have so much more room, and I've proved to myself that the system works. I will be using my time. Oh, we don't need to go through that. I am keeping a running list of the things that I need and only buy off of that. This is a game changer. And I know a lot of people have also done that. Once you've gotten your stuff organized, you know what you have, what you don't have, and it's so much easier to be able to say, I don't need that. I know that I already have, you know, plenty of those and know exactly I have like no yellow markers. I'm going to go get some of those. So it is a game changer, and I'm excited for you, Jennifer. Now you get $25 to spend with intention and get something else that you need. And our second winner today, I always feel like I have to remind everybody this is a completely random drawing when a name comes up that we all know. The winner is Terry Wygand, and she is the namesake for our Terry bag. She's a great friend of Totally-Tiffany, but she is one of the winners this week. So she's gone through the challenge more than once. She's probably been through a lot of them, and I think she's basically organized, but she always finds something more to do every time. And she tweaks. She said that she also put some foam board in her paper cubes so that the paper doesn't slide back so far. And that's a little hack that some people have talked about. They have, especially because Tiffany talks about keeping 12-inch paper next to maybe the 8x8 and the 4x6 and the 6x6, all of that in the same area, but those can slip back behind. So if you have some foam board or something to stick back behind that to keep those things from going back, it'll make a big difference. So Terry had done that. She also is really good at selling what she's purging, and then she uses that to turn around and buy things that she actually needs, and she did that once again. So yay you, Terry. She said, on to the dreaded photo week. Yes, amen. That's what we're doing now. So so those are our winners. If you Jennifer, I don't know that we have your email, so if you can email us at customerservice@totally-tiffany.com, we will get your prize to you. Terry, I know we've got your email. So the challenge goal this week is going to be having a system for sorting and storing and organizing all of your photos, whether they're printed or digital. So it's a simple goal, but it's also huge. We all know it's huge. I know that I'm not the only one who hasn't done a lot. It used to scare me how many printed photos I had in boxes, but now that's the simple thing. It's the digital that is like everywhere that I haven't gotten together that is going to be, it's not going to be my undoing. I promise it won't be. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be able to do this, but it's definitely going to be a challenge, and this is where we actually, a lot of people drop off about the photos. GOC number 6, some people just kind of stop and they keep doing their other stuff and they don't do photos. And if that's how you're going to handle this one, that's fine, but at least listen to the process and be able to do it when you do get around to doing photos. So the first thing you're going to need, especially for the digital, is you're going to need some software for sorting and organizing your digital photos. There's plenty of ones out there, and we'll talk about that as we get into this. There's a couple that we're familiar with, but there's tons. But you're going to need to find one of those. You're going to need storage boxes for the printed ones. If you don't already have those, if you've got them in drawers and bags and all sorts of things, we're going to get something that is compact and something to put your organized stuff into. A perpetual calendar. Either a physical one or something on your computer. A perpetual calendar is really excellent for keeping track of holidays and birthdays and things like that. And then folders, paper, sticky notes for labeling, all that kind of stuff. Things that you've already used in previous challenges to do your sorting and things. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to need to move on to this. The first step, once again, is gather everything together. So in this case, you're gathering your photos. If you've got a whole bunch of printed photos, get those out of all the closets and drawers and things, and get those together. And then as for the digital, gathering means get all that into one place. If you've got the program that you're going to be using, it's going to be real easy to get them into that, but you're going to have to get off of your, if you've got digital cameras still, people probably still have those. There's probably really nice ones out there that people have. I just abandoned mine. Actually, I lost one, and I never went out and bought another one because I have a phone, and that's what I use. But get your digital cameras together, your phones, and old computer files, whatever they happen to be. Look through all of those things and try to gather them together and get all of your digital stuff together. Microsoft Office Picture Manager is probably already loaded on most of your computers, and that's a really easy one to use. It's simple. It doesn't do a ton of stuff, but it does the basics, and that's all you really need. I've used Picasa because as soon as I plug in my phone to my computer, it just yanks every picture in there, and it takes them. And I've learned that that's just the first step. I need to do more than just let it take all my pictures. So that's something we're going to talk about. But Picasa is good. Is that the one that people had talked about that there isn't any support for it anymore? It could be. They're probably talking about that in the chat right now. But there's a lot of software out there. So just find something that you can put your photos into. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is actually sorting physical photos. So when you've got all the tubs, all the things full of photos, this one's fairly organized, but what you're going to need to do is get maybe more than one container. Have one that says need to sort. So get all of your the photos that are maybe just in your envelopes from the printer. I don't see any of those in there. She's good. Get them all together into just a container so that you can have them all together in one place. So these are the ones that you haven't sorted at all. Have that container. Then the next one is going to be you're going to start labeling containers as you're sorting them. You're going to sort by the years. Then you can go by month or by event. If things are already grouped together by event, then keep them together. But if not, just put them into the years. And you can do this sort of like how you did with all the other sorting that we've done, where you have sorting templates. What Tiffany has is, this is just 8.5 by 11, which is perfectly fine because most photos are going to be a lot smaller than that. So she's got the years in the corner, but then she also has like events that have happened that year. What does this one say? Varsity letter, RV, May gets driver's license. So these are significant things that happened that year. It makes it easier if, as you're going through and you find something, oh, that's right, this is the year that, you know, somebody graduated or somebody got married or something. Write that on there, and then as you're going through and finding more photos, it's really easy to say, oh, what year, where was this wedding? Oh, that's right, it's over in this pile. And then you have to think about what year. So as you're finding events, write them down on the years, and then it just makes sorting faster, and it's good for a reminder. Something else that that Tiffany always does is she has initials down here. This is London Thomas and Mac, so her two sons. She has what year they were, what age they were, and what year in high school or grade school or whatever, what years they were in school. She puts those just as a reference point, like at the bottom of all of the different sorting templates, and that's just an easy reminder as well. Sometimes all you know is that this was his, 12th year in school, and so it's great. It's going to go into that year by a quick glance. So you're going to lay out sorting templates and sort all of your printed photos on it. And that will go into that one that says, where did I have it? Sorted. So this is the big sort just by year. Then you're going to break it down, and Why does it say that? Hold on. That's the same thing. Okay. Trying to figure out how she wrote these out. You're going to do, it says, the next thing you're going to do is sort them by, more by event, but that's not what this says. So the next thing after you've got them by year, you're going to break it down and sort it by event. And then that's going to go into this R2S, which is ready to scrap, where your photos have been sorted by events. You've grouped them together. At that point, okay. So in that one, maybe I should be watching my notes because I think I'm skipping ahead. What she talks about doing is figuring out, didn't we do this earlier where you figured out how many, no, maybe this is now. See, I'm so good at this. You figure out how many photos you like to have on a layout. So if on a 2-page spread, if you normally do 8 photos, let's say, then as you're going through your photos and sorting them by event, before you have them into the ready to scrap pile, you're going to have to select the ones that you need to actually scrap, and the rest of them need to go into maybe another category somewhere, like the extra photos. In doing that, you can have file folders. We used to sell these. We don't sell these anymore. Another option is just to take some just pieces of paper, fold it in half, and create little files. But this is an event. So this is all the pictures for an event and grouped together, and then you can write the information on there of what it was, what layouts you're planning to do. In fact, I think we have a template for that. Oh, this is bad. I'm sorry that I'm not more prepared for this. I think there's one on the website for like planning your layouts and stuff, but nope, that might be next time. That might be next time. Okay, we'll see. Won't it be fun to get the follow-up email and have all the corrections that I change everything that I just told you about? Okay, so you get this. You're going to put your pictures in chronological order. Then you're going to, in just by years, then you're going to break it down by events. And then at that point, you're going to go through and you're going to sift through. Not everything needs to be scrapped. Not everything is going to be on a big layout. You're going to take the ones that you for sure want to do a layout for, plan those, and the rest of them are going to go into like an extra pictures file. In fact, I had taken at a crop, one of the classes that I took was doing an album where she said she feels like she needs to tell people constantly to be free, to not have to scrap every photo, and that's a really great reminder for us. Choose the ones that need to be scrapped. The rest of them really can just go into sleeves. They can go into the pages that just have the pockets and just have the photos. They can, or you can do really simple scrapping, I suppose, but don't feel like you have to create this amazing thing every time with all the pictures. We know better than that, and it's too much pressure, honestly. I mean, I don't know, maybe people do that. Maybe that's, but anyway, that's my little soapbox. So another thing that will really help in the sorting is having a family timeline. So you have the numbers on the sorting templates, but it also can help to have, and this is an actual paper one where it has kind of the same thing. It has the dates, and it has London to Max, what years they were in school, what ages they were, that kind of thing. And then major events would be under each year. If it's easier for you to have something like this, have something a little bit more visual. Tiffany had also, at some point in time, had, well, she still kind of has a string over here, but you can do a clothesline, basically, and hang stuff up as a reference point, and it can be really helpful in trying to figure out maybe some photos that are like completely out of where they're supposed to be. If you've got a reference point of in 2003, this is what so-and-so looks like, you can get a picture that's like, that looks like about the same year, and you can put it with it. So that can be a really good reference point. The perpetual calendar that I was talking about earlier, this is something, I think this is the one from close to my heart. But they sell these, or you can get them online, and it's really, you can decorate this. Tiffany didn't decorate these, but each month, okay, that says July right there. So this is what you put on here are the dates that don't change. So somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary, something that you're going to celebrate every year. I've also got, like, when family members died or something like that, it's just really nice to have a reference point. So instead of moving all the information over to every calendar every year, you just keep it on this, and then you can keep your calendars, your yearly calendar, just open for current events. And you can use this. So these are really nice to have. Close to my heart, like I said, did or does sell these. You can also find them other places. So that is a good reference point that helps with things. Okay, timeline, let's see. Okay, sorting guides. Oh, okay, so I went way ahead. So, okay, so I'm just going to read this. Isn't that the worst substitute teacher ever? She just reads to you. So you're starting with the year. Don't worry about grouping the pictures to begin with. Oh, this is another really good point. I forgot. When you're going through photos, this is a lot of times, this is kind of a subjective thing. And if you can get like family members together and go through, make sure you have a piece of paper and a pencil nearby, because they're probably only going to help you sort. They're not going to help you like scrap this later. So write down the stuff that they're saying. As you're going through, people are going to remember things, and someone will have a completely different perspective of each event and each photo, and getting that perspective can be really cool. Sometimes you're going to find stuff, maybe somebody grabbed your camera and took a picture and you don't even know why it's there. If you get some help from some of the other people that were there, it can definitely help you to understand what it's there for. And it's totally fun. Who doesn't have a good time looking back through old photos and stuff? So that's a great way to get help and get more information and get it accomplished. So do that if you can. So we're sorting, and then put them all into containers. Oh, reminder to use sticky notes or index cards or sheets of paper, like folded in half, to group things together as you get events grouped. Put your timeline note on the front of the box. Timeline note, I think, means ready to sort or not sorted, or, oh, the years. The years, once you've sorted by the years and things like that. Okay, so pictures, okay. Oh, this is where she talks about it. See, I just need to follow the notes. I'm so sorry. Set a goal for the number of pictures you're going to use in a 12 by 12 layout. Create folders for each event you're going to scrap about. Choose the number of layouts per page, pages that you're going to do for each event, and put that note on the folder. So that's just, oh, isn't that just like incredibly organized? Can you imagine? So as you're going through your photos, you're actually thinking, okay, I like to do so many photos per page, and you know, we were there for a week, and I'm gonna scrap these particular events and all that kind of thing. And to think of it that way at that time, when you're going through the photos and having it ready, then when it's time to like scrap the event, even if it's time to look through the photos, if you haven't scrapped it yet, you're gonna have them all organized and easy. But when you're ready to scrap, then they're actually ready to scrap. And that's why I haven't done so much scrapping, is because my photos are like chaos. Okay, this doesn't need to be any more true confessions. Ready to scrap box, organized in files. The more information you can put on your little, the things that you fold up and encapsulate around your photos, the better. You don't have to think about it later. In fact, there's only like a couple of products we're going to show this time, so we don't need to get all into it afterwards. I'm just going to show you the 4x6 and the 5x7 fab files. This is the 4x6, this is the 5x7, and each of them were really designed for photos. So they come with actual folders that hold like a lot. That's a thick folder, and it holds a lot of photos in there. It's designed with a piece of paper that slides in the front of it, so you can have all the information that you need of what event is in this, written right on the front. We do sell the refills for those, and it's like a couple of bucks because they're just pre-printed pieces of paper, or you can do them yourself. And because it's got this little border on the bottom of it, you can label that as well. And then what's really cool is that when you have these, it's fairly clear. You can see the front, but you can also have this on your shelf. I don't know if you can see that. When you have it on your shelf this way, you can see through there if you needed to. It's a cool feature. It's just another one of those things Tiffany thought up. But they also are labeled on the top and on the side, so you can label it. This one's labeled summer. But it's a great grabbable size. There's a ton of photos in here, all sorts of events, and everything's ready to go. So this is the 4x6 size. The 5x7 obviously would hold both sizes. It's just bigger, so it can hold more things. She's also got mementos in here, but we're not talking about mementos until next week. So these are the two things that are really made primarily for photos in our line of things. There's a couple of buddy bags that aren't bad for it, but these are really awesome. You can get a lot of them in there. They're super grabbable size. And they come with the folders that are going to make it super simple for you to keep everything organized and labeled and all that kind of stuff. So if this is your final resting place for your photos before you use them to scrap it, I think you'll be really happy with it. The big El Tubbo here of ready to sort things, it makes total sense to have all the junk in there. But when you're ready, these are the good ones. Okay, so now we're going to move on to digital. And this is, okay, this is where I'm just going to read. From what I understand that you do is, well, what Tiffany is saying is, don't do it the way that I do it. Don't just load your phone and say, okay, great, it's got the pictures, and then you walk away. Actually, like, select the folder that you want to create folders for your photos to go into, label them, date them, tag them, and this is not something that I've done. So if you don't know any better than I do what this means, go through the handout where she actually talks about doing this, and I think you'll be able to find all that you need. Tiffany's got a lot of great tips in there because, of course, she does this. She's very organized. But she's... I mean, we're talking about files. So files within files, you'd have a big, maybe your file folder that says My Photos, and then you're going to have subfolders of the years. And within those years, you can have the different events. When it comes to tagging, this is where the magic happens with digital. You're going to be able to find any photo based on how you tag something. So this is magical, but it's also slightly tricky. There's just a couple of tips. When you're tagging something, you want to make it consistent. You want to make it easy, and you want to make it simple. Simple and easy, I guess, is the same thing. So when you dump photos into a file folder, let's say it's Christmas of 2010. So the 2010 is already on there. You want to label it Christmas. I'm going to suggest that you always label Christmas the same way, so that every time you want to look up any Christmas, whether you say Xmas or CMUS or whatever it happens to be, always have it the same way. And even create a little cheat sheet if you need to, so that you remember how you're labeling these things. New Year's Eve should always be NYE or something like that. If Easter, birthdays, always say B-Day. People should always be tagged the same as well. So Tiffany, as an example of her sister, has gone through first name, middle name, nicknames, all sorts of different things over the years. She always uses the same tag for her, so that when she's looking for pictures for her sister, she always knows that if she uses that same initials or whatever she uses, that she'll always be able to find them. So, like I said, make yourself a cheat sheet if you need to, or if it just makes something that's simple for you to remember. But consistency is really going to be key when it comes to trying to find things that you need to reference, trying to find all the Christmas, all the birthdays for somebody, or anything like that. If you want to make sure that someone was at an event, and you know how you tag them, then you're going to be set. She also says, remember, you don't have to tag every single photo. If you've dumped a whole bunch of things into 2010, somebody's birthday folder, then all you have to do is tag at least one photo in there with everybody that you're going to want to find later. You don't have to tag every single photo. Just make sure that the people that are in there are tagged, and then you're done, because it's going to take you to that folder when you're looking, and you'll see all of them. So don't worry about tagging every single photo, which I thought was really good, because I didn't think about that. I assumed I'd have to go back through every single photo and tag everything, and that seemed a little overwhelming. So also how you do the date, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but that Tiffany's saying she has the way that she does the date where it's like 2010 0709. Be consistent with that. I guess that would really help too, if you're going to be, again, just so you can find stuff. Keep keystrokes to a minimum. She's very efficient. She also says, again, be realistic. Not every group of photo needs to be sorted and organized. Worry about the things that are most important to you, which is an interesting point as well. How many photos do we take, and how many do we really need to have? I mean, some of them are just for Instagram, right? They're probably still in your phone, but maybe it was just you were sending somebody a picture of your dinner or something. You probably don't need to scrap that unless you want to. So if that's something that's important to you, then absolutely tag it and use it. Otherwise, dump it, or skip over it or whatever. But remember, you only need to grab the ones that you're really going to do something with that are important to you, that will be important to somebody later. I think that's it. We've got, let me see, we did that photo tagging birthday calendar. I don't know what that is. Okay, well, there's something there that I don't know what that is. So I think that's it. I hope I haven't been super confusing. It's not like it's difficult. There's just a few steps that you want to follow, and definitely get the handout, download the handout, and read through Tiffany's tips and tricks, because they're really very good. There's plenty of room for notes on the back. Our Facebook group is amazing for the amount of expertise you'll find there. Like I said, I'm going to go through and see if anybody has any questions and see if they still need to get answered, and we'll do that in the follow-up email. But there's probably already people answering that, and there's people who have done this and stay on top of their photos and have wonderful tips in the Get Organized Challenge group. If you're not on Facebook, no problem. In fact, speaking of Facebook, I spent 2 hours last night trying to undo where I got hacked and something got sent out on my behalf. So if you're on Facebook and you happen to get, it looks like a video message from somebody, it'll have your picture on it, or someone like from your profiles or pictures or whatever, don't click on it. You can delete the message or whatever, but don't click on it, because it's not you, and it's not really a video of you, and didn't really get 19,000 views, and they're just trying to get something else, and you'll be sorry. So I normally don't click on things, but I did that one, so I'm just warning everybody else. It can happen to the best of us. But otherwise, Facebook can be very good. So the Get Organized Challenge group is awesome, and you'll get a lot of information there, and people who know what they're doing with photos. So I'm going to go quickly through the... 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 the homework today. So this week you're going to be establishing your physical and computer filing system. So whatever you choose for your software that you're going to be doing your photos with, and whatever you're going to be putting your actual printed photos into. Create a family timeline. It's really helpful to do. Then you're going to sort 2 boxes or piles or drawers, 2 containers of photos. Add 1 additional box for each family member that you recruited to help you. So if you actually got that to happen, you get to add another box because it's going to speed it up and make it fun. Sort 1 year of digital photos. That might not be that bad. I think I could do that. Sort 1 container of other supplies into your 4-section system. So if you're still working on embellishments, you're still working on, I don't know, stamps, still working on colors and stuff, sort another one. If you're still working on paper, you got to do 4 more inches this week. Then post on Facebook and enjoy your reward. So I'm actually going to do some of this, ladies. I'm going to pull out my photos and see what I can do. I'll post my progress. There is a blog post that Tiffany did about multiple album sorting, and we're going to post that. Okay, I don't think we need those other tips. But I'm going to find that and I'll post it on either on the Facebook group or at least on the Get Organized Challenge page on the website, so you can have that. She's written a lot of articles, and they're always very informative and helpful. So I think that's it. Thank you for enduring with me. Tiffany will be back next week. And like I said, I will be following up with your questions and hopefully be able to help you out. And we're all in this together. We're going to get through some photos this week. So have a great week, ladies, and I'll see you soon.